Morning, Loz.
Good morning.
How's your Monday from yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday was all right. It actually went pretty well. It was the hot weather I really enjoyed.
Yes.
It's definitely a warming up, but is it going to stay warm?
No.
Right, so we're at the time of year where it's tricking us. Like, it looks like someone might be coming here. You should get that pool ready, and then it really doesn't get hot.
Sometimes they say there's only one trick. Well, this year it's two tricks at least so far. Because it's gone from...
True.
We had hot, then cold. Went back cold last week, and then it got hot again.
Yeah.
It's going to go cold again this week, but not as cold as last week.
I even tried out my swampy on Sunday.
Did you?
Yeah, I was like, it's a bit warm. It definitely probably needs a service, but I wouldn't mind switching it on to kind of, clear it out a little bit.
Yeah, because it's always got that kind of mouldy smell when you first turn them on.
It's more the dust. Like, you can't do it after you've just vacuumed.
Oh.
So it's more you turn it on and it's just like...
I'm so glad the swampy's been...
out.
Where I am, you can see there was a swampy, and it's just some little grates, or what do you call them, in the wall now.
Yeah, the vents.
The vents are there in each room. It's a small place, it's not too better, but you can see a vent in each room, but...
Yeah.
We've got splits in there now.
I've got splits and the swampy, and I think it depends on the type. If it's dry heat, the swampy works really well.
Yeah.
So it just depends on what kind of heat it is, but I thought...
No, is it the other way around? I was always told Alice doesn't have the right kind of heat for swampies.
No, humidity is bad for a swampy. Swampies do not work in humidity. When it's a nice dry heat, swampies work fantastic.
Oh, isn't that interesting? Because when I used to live in South Terrace back years ago, and I was told, your swampy's no use here because it's the wrong kind of heat here.
No.
That's what people told me.
No.
So I never used my swampy. I used it maybe twice.
No, because...
And then when I rented my place out, it wasn't working.
No,
and then they wanted me to replace it for like tens of thousands of dollars. No joke.
No, the whole point...
It's gonna be huge.
The whole point of a swampy, evaporative cooling, is it brings the air in from outside, right? But when that air is sticky and humid... It doesn't work. So when it's
but we
nice
don't get a lot of that here. We don't get a lot of
exactly right. So
they must have confused me when I first got here.
they must have. So my swampy worked really well on Sunday, but I definitely do need to get it serviced because safety.
Yeah, but this thing once they go past a certain point, like I used to get it serviced every year. It cost me $200 to service it every year, and I was good like that. I kept it serviced, but I hardly used it. Then all of a sudden, this tenant came in and turned it on and said, "Oh, it doesn't work." And then they said, "Oh, you got to spend like thousands of dollars to fix it."
That's crazy.
So I ended up buying another one through Harvey Norman, a monster for downstairs. Then the tenants wanted them upstairs too, didn't they?
This does not sound like a swampy, what you were talking about.
No, I had a swampy that was right through the place, a two-storey in South
And then you
Terrace.
Changed.
Well, that's right. I just disconnected. I had it disconnected. And then I had this...
like a splitty or something?
Monster splitty downstairs.
Yeah, okay.
Right? Which, didn't cool upstairs. I got that. But, tough guy that I was, I spent 4 years living in that place and never used the aircon really ever. I had fans. I didn't care. I shut the blinds. The blinds kept it... Yeah, but the blinds kept the place cool. It was double brick or a big brick anyway.
Yeah.
And it never worried me. And then, of course, these annoying tenants, they wanted to have the splits in each room, didn't they? So I ended up trying to sell the place. I flogged it off eventually. And then when I tried to sell it, the guy tried to sue me afterwards, saying that the swampy didn't work. But I sold it as it was. I said, this was how the place is. He tried to sue me for getting the swampy. He didn't succeed. He didn't go to NTK.
Something
but
happened.
He was going to.
That kind of happened to myself and Mr. Loz, but not that we tried to sue anyone. But when we bought our current home, it was advertised just as having splitties because it has two split systems.
Yeah.
A big one in the lounge that cools and heats
Monster.
the entire common areas. Then there's a small one in one of the 3 bedrooms. The other 2 bedrooms just have fans, right?
Yeah.
But it was never sold. Nowhere did it say that there was a swampy there. When we physically saw the house and I could see that there was a swampy, I thought, like what you said, and a lot of people do this, it doesn't work. So they're not selling it as having a swampy.
That's how it was.
They've put splitties in. A lot of people do that. They go, well, it's going to cost too much to get the swampy done. We'll just put splitties in. So I honestly just thought nothing of it. When we moved in, turned it on, I was like, it kind of works, just needs a service. Had a mate that knew how to service swappies.
Oh, you're lucky.
Got it looked at and was like, yeah, cool, this works. A few years ago, we did have to get the motor replaced in it, but once again, we got a refurbished motor for under $1,000. And so we did it ourselves, but it wasn't sold. It wasn't advertised as having one.
Why would you pull it out? I didn't pull it out. As a landlord, I thought, well, I'll leave it in there and whoever wants it can
If they
either
want it,
replace it
yeah.
or fix it or whatever. So I left it in there, and then because it wasn't working, they tried to take me to. They were going to take me to NT-CAT, but the thing is, I blame the agent for. The agent's gone now, so I can say this. I blame the agent for it. The agent didn't handle the expectations of the buyer, because the agent should have told the buyer, this is how it is. You buy this place as it is. You don't get anything else. And then they're like, after settlement, they try to go, the thing doesn't work.
No, that's why we get inspections. And if something doesn't work after settlement,
it's too bad, isn't it?
you've missed your chance. That's
I wasn't trying to con anybody.
Yeah, but the thing is,
and they had a big splitty anyway downstairs. A monster.
Even if you were, it's still on them. If you buy a house and something's broken, it's your fault for not getting it checked before you bought the house.
When I bought the place originally, I had to get full inspections on it. And I paid money for that. I paid like $1,000 or something.
I don't know.
Same. It wasn't $1,000, but it was a lot of money. And they found, the sails at the back have tears in them. This is a temporary. They found all these things for me that I could just say, don't worry about. And but at least my eyes were open when I went in.
Absolutely.
I think everyone should do a building inspection every time.
Don't you
especially
have to?
for termites here.
Don't you have to do a building inspection?
But there was no termites in this because it's ground level, nothing underneath it. But yeah, you do.
Yeah, I thought it was necessary.
I think it's like with your
maybe
mandatory. I'm not sure.
With your conveyancer and stuff, I thought it was like a mandatory.
No, they can give you the option, or they did back then. Maybe that's mandatory now, but
no idea. I still did it. I just assumed it was something I had to do, but whether it was just something in my head, I was like, yeah, I have to do that, or whether it was something that was mandatory, I don't know.
Yeah. Are we funny? We get off on a different tangent. Now, we wanted to talk about capsicum spray because the Territory has.
We did, because they
brought it in.
I'm thinking about trying to get some.
All right.
Are we going to talk about this now? Should we do it in part 2? What are we doing?
We could talk for 1 minute about it.
Okay, we'll talk the rest about it on the
Let's give a
YouTube.
summary of it, what it's all about.
Okay, so basically you can get OC spray now in the Territory, which is capsicum spray, aka pepper spray, aka bear spray.
Bear spray.
Lots of different names it comes under.
Yes, lots of bears in the Territory, that's for sure.
There's lots going on about this capsicum spray, right? I personally think it's a good thing. That is my opinion. Don't come at me for it.
Oh,
you have
on
to
the fence, not.
I'm not on the fence on this. No. You have to be over 18 to buy it. There's a whole process to buying it. You can only buy from a gun supplier,
right?
Which we have a few in town.
Do we?
Yep, we do. So you can give that a Google, but there's a few gun shops here in town,
right?
And so that's where you have to buy it from.
And there's gyms as well. They're gun shops where people show their guns.
Oh, that was the worst thing you've probably ever said.
Nice guns.
Because essentially, OC spray is a firearm. Like it's listed as like a firearm. It's like under that same like category. So that's why you have to get it from like a firearm place. Well,
it makes sense to me because that's how I see it. I see it like a gun. So there are people who are allowed guns and there are people who are going to be allowed these sprays. And probably the people who aren't allowed guns are probably not going to be allowed these sprays, I'm guessing.
The thing that I find a little bit cray-cray is the people that are sitting on the fence or against it are saying, but what happens if children get sprayed? But the thing is...
rather than get sprayed than killed by a gun.
Exactly. Now, the thing is, right, so something that's always stuck in my head...
Spray's not nice, I'm sure.
Something that's always stuck in my head is something that my mum always used to say to me was never use a weapon that can be turned against you, right?
Yeah.
So
I've heard that too.
I'd be fine with capsicum
like a knife
spray.
Or something.
Yes, I'd be fine with capsicum spray being turned against me if someone was breaking into my home and I used it on them. But the thing is, if they're saying, but what if kids get sprayed? Well, the only way kids are going to get sprayed is if they break into someone's house.
Yeah.
No one's going to just walk down the street and randomly spray children in the face with capsicum spray.
And this is how I justified it all in my head. I was on the fence initially and then I thought about it. Actually, I wasn't on the fence. I was kind of almost anti. And then I thought about it. I thought, well, guns, the people who are responsible with guns don't go around shooting people just because they've got a gun.
Exactly.
So it's the same situation. If someone's got this, they're a law-abiding citizen, they're not going to use it on their kids because the kids got them annoyed. You know what I mean? There are certain people who will use guns incorrectly and there's certain people going to use this incorrectly. But most people, like for me, would I have a trigger figure if I had one on me? Oh, will I just spray this guy randomly in the street? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that.
No.
But then I'm not going to be someone who's getting one. I'm not going to get any.
Yeah.
I don't want it. Yet again, for maybe the reason you say it turned on me. Like I've got knives in my house too, but would I use them if someone intruded, or would I hide in the corner and scream like a baby? Probably one of the two. Probably more like the latter. Sorry, I'd probably do that.
Yeah.
So I can see what you're saying. I think there's logic in what you're saying. I don't have as much of a problem when I use that logic of the gun in my brain about responsible gun owners. We talk about that all the time. If you're not a responsible gun owner, you're not allowed to have a gun. Simple as that. Some people do get guns, and sometimes people do turn. Like they might have had a gun for 40 years and all of a sudden they have a bad day and they shoot somebody. That's why a lot of people say guns shouldn't be in the community at all. But
100%. And I don't have a really clear cut for and against on a lot of, like, I feel like I fall in a different for and against on all the different issues. I'm not one for and one against, if that makes sense. On a lots of different things I kind of sway, but not just because of the NT, but just as a woman in 2025, I want capsicum spray.
Yep. Fair enough. We'll talk more about that in our next part, which you can find on our YouTube channel, which is...
Listen to Sun 969.
Here comes the news.